I guess this is a good time to move on to the Mandalorian season 3. And well, Mauler, you encouraged me to watch it with you guys on EFAP the other night, and
Yeah.
thank you. I really appreciate that. I
I'm
got to
gonna be
see the
honest with you.
finale.
Did not expect them to go to the places they went in terms of just hilarity. For those in chat who don't know, there is a fight scene between 3 Praetorian guards and a baby.
This is never gonna. I'm never gonna get past this. Yoda leaps up onto a light fixture and is just like running round it,
They're
like
all
because
trying to swat him
it's
like
in a
a
big
fly.
circle, and they're just like jabbing at them with their laser sword things. They can't get him.
This is real,
It's the most
by the way.
pathetic, sad thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not even kidding. If we were like commissioned to and given a budget to make like a Star Wars parody, I would absolutely have that scene just one for one. I wouldn't even change it. I'd just be like, "Yep, bunch of grown men with sci-fi weaponry trying to kill a baby as it runs around the room, going gaga goo goo."
That was funny. You know what? It's like I kind of passed over that in the review that's coming out because there's so much stupid. I hope Garrett puts it in the edit because it's bad. But what overshadowed it for me was Boba Fring monologuing about the cloned. By the way, nothing more formidable than a clone of a 65-year-old man. Okay, just want to point that out. Who
He has
had
the flaws.
They cloned the Force, and I'm like, what? No.
They injected him with midichlorians, Gary. Don't you understand?
I don't even want to know how he injected him with those midichlorians. But we'll just say that's not how the Force works. I know that's going to be used a lot, but I mean, like without a doubt, though, that set the path for Project somehow. I love how they called it Project Necromancer. Hey, let's just name a secret project exactly what we're doing. Let's just call it Project Somehow Palpatine Came back. I mean,
You fools.
So that lead. I mean, like all roads lead to Jake Skywalker. I mean, I didn't have any doubt. I'm the smart chat here because they subscribe to the Critical Drinker. So you're all smart. Yes, I'm kissing your ass. It's okay. You all know that all roads lead to Jake Skywalker, but some people didn't. And I don't know how you could think they don't now when they had Last Jedi guards fighting a puppet and losing. This is so funny. and then Darth Fring monologuing his way in, like, and then just getting killed at the end. And how about that dark saber, guys? All the theories surrounding it. Oh, like who's gonna get the dark saber? They fucking broke it.
I feel like fans are gonna hit on that one. He broke it with his hand. I guess he has like robot hands or something, or a robot glove.
Yeah, and like didn't he crush all the bones in her hand and like she's just fine like 5 minutes later? It's okay.
Exosuit. So I saw a real life exosuit yesterday, guys. Can I tell you that quick story? So
yes.
I didn't do my nooner yesterday because I was on a field trip with my son. I'll be very quick about this because it's going to bore the audience. But, I don't get to many field trips with my son. So I went on a field trip to the Toyota factory where they build the Tundras here in around San Antonio. They put out a truck a minute, by the way. That's insane. But there was now I've been in, I worked in the industry for a long 15 years. I worked in the industry. So I've been around factories. But the one thing I hadn't seen was the exoskeleton suit that these MFers had on the production line. Like I knew they had them in the military, but I didn't know there was like private versions of them. And it's been a while since I've been in the industry. And there's a dude with like this exosuit on, just picking shit up, and I'm like, whoa, that's awesome.
Well, like a power loader from fucking Aliens.
Yeah. It's a little
that's real. That exists now.
It was very real. It was.
Oh shit, we live in the future. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it was cool as hell. We couldn't get pictures of anything in there, proprietary information and stuff, but sorry, yes, everybody's else. Story time with Dad, Gary. Yeah, and I was like, whoa. Me and the kids are like, whoa, that's so cool. Yeah, I just wanted to tell. So they're real, they're happening. So he had an exoscoot and he broke the hand and he broke the dark saber, and they just tossed it aside and it burned up, and now it's gone. And I'm like, oh, and remember the episode that was called Spies, the one before the previous episode? Who were the spies?
But no, everyone speculated hardcore on it, and then the show didn't pay off anything. So there's just like, okay, no spies?
No spies.
All right.
There was one.
I love it.
Technically, there was one, and it was that dude. I'm sorry, girl, in the beginning, but she was only in for. She was only in it for 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
I say she because I don't know if she's non-binary, and I don't care. So, but yeah.
I love how like a Star Destroyer can crash land onto a planet like straight into the base that's underground, and all it produces is some flames that you can easily deflect with the power of the Force. It doesn't like crumple the platform that you're standing on or anything. It doesn't like vaporize everything in your vicinity. You're fine.
Like,
It just makes some fire go up for like a minute or so, and then you're all good.
Baby Yoda protected them.
Somebody said the armor was supposed to be. I was half expecting them to take the armorer's mask off, and it's kind of like Master Blaster. And you see like
It's like a child.
Down syndrome or something.
She has the mind of a child.
She has the mind of a child.
Again, the armorer, they took it to the nth degree with this one. Like she when she flies down with them,
dude,
we were like sitting there being like,
Mauler straight up said she better not fucking hit people with her hammer, and that's exactly what happened.
He's the first person I thought of when I saw like she's got her hammer. Where are the tongs? Where are the tongs?
She still had the tongs when fighting in midair. It was so fucking stupid. I couldn't believe it. I was like, do they actually think people like yeah, hammer and tongs lady fighting in midair with a jetpack? Woohoo! Oh god, it was horrible, but expected, I guess.
I love the scene where they fly over Galaxy's Edge, right? Really slowly. And that ship, that like the effects, some of the effects look cool, like a slow over giant ship going, like that's science fiction stuff I like, but it's so slow. And then they slowly land. And then they slowly, you can feel them trying to pad the watchmenings. They slowly walk off the ramps. And then they have leering stares between two tribes with fucking helmets on for a long time. There's supposed to be some tension built. And I'm like, I can't see anybody's faces. And it looks like the two tribes of Mandalorians are about to fight. And then mom comes out and says, dinner time, and it's all over.
Yeah.
You know what's funny as well? Like, I've watched a little bit of it's like Katie Sackhoff has got her own YouTube channel, and like she talks quite a bit about like the training that she puts in for all like the different roles, because she takes this stuff seriously, man. Like she works out hard, and she worked her arse off to get in shape for Mandalorian, and I just thought, why? Like she's hidden under all this armor, so that you can't whether or not she's got muscles is fucking irrelevant. You can't see a single thing, and most of the time she's got her helmet on, so she could be played by anyone. She's probably played by a stuntman in most of the scenes anyway, so it's totally pointless. I mean, I respect the work that she puts in, but like, man, it's so unappreciated.
She's wasted on the show. She's a really good actress. She's got a great personality. Her YouTube channel, which I checked out during the Brie years, is like, she's way more charming than Brie. It's way more interesting.
She's very real. She just seems like very grounded and like down to earth. And it's like, yeah, great. But yeah, I just feel like she's criminally underused in a show like this. Like, yes, you know, Battlestar Galactica, fantastic. You know, they made full use of her. But like here, anyone could do Bo-Katan. Like, she's not really required to do much as an actress. And it's a shame. It's a real waste.
Oh, we should probably talk about the fact that they've seemingly ended Din Djarin's storyline, or at least closed it off for now, probably while they refocus and shuffle things around and behind the scenes.
What did you say? How did you put it, Mahler? They put him on the shelf for a little while?
Yeah, he's on the shelf now.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be dependent on what they're going to look at their resources probably and figure out what storylines they can tell. But this has to be tied to Pedro Pascal and all of his requirements and issues and stuff.
And something else.
Oh, there's a couple things.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, like, whatever. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I could care less either way. I'm done with this show. But Favreau is working his way out.
Apparently,
this is what I was going to say, is like, because everyone keeps saying like, oh man, it's like Jon Favreau just stopped caring about Mandalorian this season, And my assumption is that when we got to the end of season 2, he was like the directive came from above, and I don't know who it came from, but I can probably guess that we need to bring back Grogu. He needs to come back into the show because it's a good merchandising opportunity, and it's the only thing that's basically selling right now. And we want to focus the narrative direction on Bo-Katan instead of Mando.
Yeah.
And all of that ran contrary to everything that he had planned for this. And eventually he just said, fuck it, you know what? Do what you want. I don't care anymore.
Uh-huh.
And that's why you ended up with this. It's like his involvement was the bare minimum to get his name on the credits. Because that's what it feels like. It's like it doesn't have any of his creative input this season.
I mean, as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of Mando anyway, even in the best of times, but this season was weird. Like, the choices they were making, the amount of time they wasted. Even, like, because this last episode, I've seen some people real happy with it, but I've also seen plenty of fans being like, nothing happened. And then there's this sort of realization that's like, if you watch episode 1 of The Mandalorian, and then you skip to season 4, episode 1, how much do you think, like, if a friend did that, and they're like, you catch me up, how long do you think it would take you? It's like, well, he got a new armor set. Baby Yoda is, like, more powerful than he was back then.
No, you're missing the point, Mower. The point is that IG-11 has had a redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
So
That was
this is a tweet
the
I
thing.
saw where someone was like, season 1 finale, emotional payoff, the droid sacrifices itself to save them all and, you know, defeat the Empire. Season 2, you have goodbye to Baby Yoda. He's found his home, and this you know, partnership between, or this relationship between the two is now gone. Season 3, undo both of those payoffs. It's like,
Right.
Yep.
IG-11's back, and he's adopted Grogu. It's like, huh. It's like they don't even remember what happened in season 1 and 2 anymore.
I've never had a payoff that I've cared less about than IG-11, I think. I straight up, like, I don't know why anyone would have cared. Like, why does it matter that this, like, fucking soulless, emotionless kill droid is brought back to life? Why does it matter?
I think it's especially weird that we spent a whole season not caring about it. Like, Mando didn't either. Then it was like, remember the droid? And you're like, oh, yeah, I do. And it's like, we're going to get him back. We're going to work real hard. Set up in episode 1, pay off in the finale. And you're like, why?
It's just, I don't know what to equate it to, but it's like a person locked in a room with like a couple of fucking sock puppets or something, and that's all they have to work with. And it's just like, well, I'll try and invent something out of this, and this is all I have because I can't imagine anything beyond this. And like, that's what Mando is. Like, there's no real story, there's no progression, there's no world building, there's nothing. It's just a bunch of meaningless stuff that's projected onto your eyes. That's all I can give you with Mando. Like, I don't really feel what season 3 has even accomplished. We're pretty much where we were at the beginning.
It's like they got a bunch of ideas from the story group and had a computer through an algorithm place them as the initial ideas so you can have these task-oriented series of events that just happen with no real consequence at all, and dialogue that's even worse.
I always felt the Boba Fett was like a filler season as well, but like in a meta way, a filler series. Like, it was like, we put something out while we figure out what we're doing with our main boy Mando. It's like we have something figured it out. It's like, fuck it, Kenobi as well. Throw that out, get that out. It's like, finally now we have season 3. And it's like, what is it? It's like it's another, like, skip this season. Just keep them busy until we come up with what we're actually doing. That's always what it's felt with Star Wars as a franchise this long. Ever since the disaster combination of Solo, TLJ, and TROS, they've never known what to do with Star Wars. And all of this has been spinning its wheels this whole time. They just don't know what to do.